Good morning, everybody. Sean Patrick Green, also known as Fudge in the God Chaser Sports Arena. I am your host for this week's update, the God Chaser Sports Weekly Fantasy Sports Recap. It's been a couple weeks. Last time I talked to you, we wrapped up the football seasons right before the playoffs of the NFL. We're coming up to the season for hockey and basketball for their playoffs, or I'm sorry, the All Stars coming up soon. Not quite sure what the dates are. I know hockey's coming up soon, and we're talking about St. Louis. And let's see if I can do something here. I think I'm good. I'm going to try to get some light on my face. Just give me a second here. There you go. A little bit better. All right. So here I am, Buffalo, New York, where the headquarters are for the God Chaser Sports Fantasy Leagues and for the One Accord DJ, One Accord Football, Flavor Football, all kinds of different sports that we've done over the years. Again, we started in 2000 officially. 1999 was my first year entering the arena of fantasy sports online with Yahoo and Excite. And in 2000, we made an official league called God Chasers Football League from several people in Florida. Mostly one division was a family and the other division were friends. So I was in the Friends League or division and so on and so forth. So we had a good time with that. Excite was really cool. I liked it because they were the ones that had are capable of doing divisions, whereas the Yahoo wasn't quite there yet. But now Yahoo is doing their thing. They're doing real well. Pretty impressed. It's still a free option for most people. And I do intend to have next year a paid league. So looking forward to seeing how that works out. As you can see, these are all the websites underneath here on the bottom. Go to facebook.com GCSports 2000. That is where I'm broadcasting from right now. Live. Everything I post on our YouTube as well. And you can find all those YouTube links and the playlist from the next ticker from the bottom. GCSports2000.wordpress.com/blogs. All right, so let's just get right to the recap of the fantasy sports. So, first of all, you also have the option to get to our Facebook page here. And I believe I'm live right now. Let's see if it's repeating. There you go. It is showing that we are live. Oh, no, that was from December. Let's refresh the page here. Give me a second. Refresh. All right. And we also have our Twitter account you can follow. And here we go. We're in the hockey arena for fantasy sports. So, anybody here play multiple sports with me? You guys can follow along probably a little bit easier than some of the others that play maybe one or two sports, or they play, at least a couple different leagues in one sport. I'm going right to the hockey leagues right now, starting with the God Chaser Hockey League East recap from last week. Of course, I'm a Sabres fan, and we actually did pretty well last night against Detroit, but we haven't stepped it up consistently. We were in first place last year up until November, December, and same thing happened this year. So at any rate, here I am. I did pretty good last week against a division rival. And it looks like, let's see, the Bombers stepped it up. They kind of pushed down Getzloff. Roberts blew out the on thin ice. And that was big blowout. That was probably the biggest one this week. Ontario Mavericks maintains their number one position, beating Isaiah. And then Disciples beating Cyclones. Cyclones beating Disciples. So here we are with the hockey leagues. All right. Next week, matchups. I play on thin ice. So, Mark, I'm looking forward to playing you again. And 3 plays 1, 2 plays 6, 4 plays 10, and 8 plays 9. So we are in week 15 starting today. We'll see how this works out for some of you. So I did pretty good for this week, which is a big surprise. And doesn't want to go back to the main page here. There you go. Okay, and we're going to GCHL West. Okay, I'm playing the Flames this week. I am ranked 4th, but I did not do too well last week. Let me show you how bad it was. King Hendrick. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but King Henrik comes up with the win, 5-4. Turkey comes out with the win, 7-2. Sharks take over. Well, not quite, but they're getting closer to the blue line checkers. Tied up the Bandits and the Flames, and Lockport takes over on thin ice. And here's the standings right now. Second in my division, or second in my division. It's quite a run between me and Lemke here. King Henrik is right behind me, trying to step on my doorstep here. Bandits took a little bit of a hit by being tied, giving Lemke an option, a possibility of catching up maybe in the next couple games. Who knows? Maybe this next week might switch up. Turkey comes back from being behind for a little bit. And let's just make this one bigger. All right, so that's a little bit bigger to look at. So Lemke and the Bandits are division leaders in the West. And go back to the East real quick. Division leaders are Ontario Mavericks and Bishop Roberts. So it looks like the Mavericks right now are blowing it out. They're really taking control of their destiny for this whole thing. They're right on track for keeping that number one position for the playoffs. Be a good buy for them. Roberts is right there. Week 22 is when we start our matchups, and that's in 7 weeks. So this season is going by quick. All right, let's hit it. Let's hit up God Chasers Hockey League International, where I'm second place. I dropped from first place last week, and I'll show you why in this one. I think this is the one that hurt me a little bit. 8-1. Mark just took over, blew me out, giving Espresso the top lead in my division now, as they beat the Blues. Polish Power beats the Freeze. Lockport and the Hawks match each other. Hawks versus the Hawks. And Zeal beats Will Bethlehem. No surprise there. Anybody wants to take over his team, feel free. Holler at your boy. Will Bethlehem is inactive and has been the beater team this year. All right, it's not a matter of how if they're getting beat, it's a matter of how bad they're getting beat. So let's look at that for a second. Will Bethlehem. Oh, they did win 2 games. Okay, 5-4, 5-3, but and 7-1. Crazy. How about that? But it's been 1-9, 3-6, 8, so on and so forth. So that's all their most of the losses are really bad. Once again, 22 weeks for this. 23rd week is the playoffs. Here's the top 4 right now. So I got to stay up on top of these guys. These guys are about to jump on top of me here. Florida freeze, so I got to watch these. But I'm in good position. I'm number 2 ranked overall. We'll see how well we continue this streak. How about this football games this weekend? Amazing. We'll get to that after this. Christian Hacky League. There you go. Look at this. Number 2 in my division. Not really stellar for the league. Actually, would be considered 4th overall. But it's still good enough for a bye if I continue this momentum. But it looks like we were stopped last week by, of course, Thin Ice, who wants to come on take over this division. I can see him looking at me. He's trying. He's trying hard. But yeah, this is it, man. This is what's going on for the Hacky League. Last week, Bread of Life beat the Burrows. That helps to keep me in the running for. No, not necessarily. It's a division rival. Cutthroats in Germano match each other 2, and 5. Look at that. That's an interesting ending week score. 5 matches, 5 ties. Interesting. So that kind of slows both of them down, actually. But that gives them both 5 ties, so that still keeps their numbers up. Okay, Pred Heads beating Lightning, trying to keep from being the worst team in the league. And Henrik and Lemke battling it out. Lemke not doing too well for this season. So that's a good win for Lemke's loss. It helps me a little bit. Don't mind that at all. Beat my division rivals all you want. So we also have, once again, I do veterans leagues. I got Buffalo Sabres League where I'm 14-0, destroying everybody. I got a manager less team if anybody's interested in joining. Veterans Hockey League and Veterans First. Those are the 2 leagues that are exclusively competed against other veterans from different military backgrounds. So I'm in 10th place, which means I'm at dead last in this one. And 3rd place here out of, I think, 16 teams. If I'm not mistaken. We'll just double check it. I'll just give you a glimpse. 12 teams. Okay, so that's good. Division leader. That's what keeps me in 3rd. Overall, I'm about 4th place. 4th or 5th place. Yeah, 4th. So still competitive. Reached my 101 wins. So that's a good thing. It's only 3 other teams has gotten over 100 wins. So I'm competitive. I stay competitive in all these leagues as much as I can. 15 moves for me. All right, and this one is the one that's embarrassing. I'm definitely better than this. Now, this is a points-to-points league, and your points are not by category, but overall points scored. So it's a head to head and it's a win loss only style. And right now, not doing too good. Second worst points, worst record. Still got the second most moves, but I'm not doing too well. Probably shouldn't make all the moves I was making. I did beat Adirondack a couple weeks ago, but that doesn't mean anything right now. It's not helping me at all. And Pagulaville. There's only 6 teams in this league. There's a little advantage. But I won last year. I won out of the 4 teams that played. Anyways, let's get to the basketball leagues. There you go. Basketball updates for this is week 13 in NBA. The All-Star games will be coming up for that in a couple weeks. I'll have to find that out in a second. Matter of fact, let's Google that real quick. We'll do the NHL All-Stars first. All-Star game is in St. Louis. And it starts the 25th, looks like. 25th of January. So we're talking in a couple weekends here. 2020 All-Star. And I think my dude, Jeff Skinner, I don't think he's going to make it this year. But Jack Eichel might. I think he is. I think Jack Eichel's in it. So it is January 25th. 24th, 25th. 25th is the actual final game. So that's going to be cool. NHL All-Stars. Let's look at the NBA All-Stars real quick. All-Stars. Oh, that's not a good name. They're in February, so they'll be coming up soon. Let's check them out. February 14th through the 16th. In Chicago. I might make that road trip. Who knows? It's only a 10-hour drive. Luka Doncic. That's the guy that I drafted on my team for several teams. That's successful. There it is. I think the NHL has a better splash page for their All-Star game than the NBA. What do you think? NBA kind of looks anemic. So February 14th and 16th. Of course, NFL Pro Bowl, which nobody cares about. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Right before the Super Bowl. January 26th. And let's see what their splash page looks like. Here you go. Come on. Computer's slow because I got a lot running on this thing. So, behave. While that's loading. Okay, almost there. Okay, looks like Russell Wilson and yep, it was a tough weekend for both Lamar Jackson, AFC top notch player this year, and Russell Wilson. Valiant effort, played really well. I can't say the same for Lamar Jackson. Patriots, I don't want to even talk about them. I'm just happy they're not in it. And the Panthers. So that's going to be interesting to see who from next week's games are going to be in it. Will it be Derrick Henry or will it be Mahomes and Otto going to the Pro Bowl? We'll see. My guess is I'm going to say that the Chiefs are going to win next week, but I'm not certain. So I'm going to bet that it's going to be Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry playing together on the field for the Pro Bowl in Orlando, which is again that's January 20. All right, 6th. Did we establish 25th? All right, come on, help me with the date here. All right, so I'm not going to worry about that. January 26th. Okay, so this splash page is not as exciting. So you got the hockey. This is the order here. You got NHL hockey, January 24th to 25th. The next day, the NFL Pro Bowl, January 26th. And then a couple weeks later, February, it would be the Super Bowl. And then February 16th, 14th to the 16th, NBA All Stars. Not to mention the Super Bowl in February 2nd, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Jennifer Lopez is set to play. Yep, January 2nd. Let's go to the Super Bowl page for the NFL. What are the things that I kind of miss still from our fantasy sports leagues is I kind of miss the golf camaraderie. We had quite a few people playing golf over the years. Plus NASCAR. NASCAR got so huge at one point. We did 2 or 3 leagues. But because we're not doing that, Yahoo's not doing fantasy golf or auto racing, we no longer had the participation anyways. I think we had the maximum of either one of them was like 5 in any season in the last couple years. But, that's okay. It's not as popular as it used to be. So NASCAR at PGA have their own fantasy matchups. And I'm not interested in a halftime show here. Let's just there's no splash page. Okay. Edelman wins MVP. Oh boy. How about this? Edelman wins MVP and then goes to California and jumps on a car and gets arrested. How you like that? What a whack. All right. I guess we got to pray for him as Christians, right? Super Bowl. This splash page is kind of weak. It's just showing the halftime show. That I'm not too excited about. I mean, yeah, J-Lo's a great performer, but the halftime shows have been melodramatic for many years. Let's just go to something that shows a little bit. All right. It's just not revealing too much because really nobody's in the championship yet. All right, so here we go. Once again, All Stars, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, NBA All Stars. That's what's happening. All right, so let's go to the latest again. Let's see. Let's make sure we got our feed going on here. You got any questions? You got to chime in. You can't just watch it online. You got to actually participate. You got to actually be engaged in this. So I'm going to like the page that I'm on right now. I think it's frozen. See, I just liked it. Now it shows up. All right. I'm going to get back to the. Let's get back to the basketball now. Let's get back to basketball, son. Any questions? See if anybody's engaged at all on Facebook. Nope. I did email out a bunch of invitations to former members of our leagues over the years through the Yahoo groups that we've had, and I just invited everybody that used to play in all the other leagues, and some of them that are still playing in the leagues now. Got the double invite, maybe one through the Gmail account and one through the leagues. So you got the invite somehow, one or the other. But let's finish off this recap. What's up, guest? Can you log in to your phone? Get you on the call, get you on the line if you want to participate. We talk about anything. We talk about sports, talk about Jesus, you talk about whatever. Talk about drama. I don't know if that's important or not to you, but so all right, let's get back to the basketball then. Here we go. How about Derrick Henry? This guy, man. He was my MVP for one of my leagues that won the championship. I had Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry in my backfield all season in this one league and one team, and I lost one of them for whatever reason. I think because of the quarterback. I think because I had Fitzpatrick in there. I don't know. So one accord B-ball jam. I'm going to go to this Jesus Saves one that I don't run real quick. This is where I'm in 10th place. Okay, so I'm in last place in this league. And I did quite a bit of moves, but that might have hurt me. So that's what I did last week. So hopefully we're going to play with some of these guys next season in another league. If not basketball, maybe baseball coming up soon. But that's where I'm standing right now. Here's some pretty good competitors up here. A lot of movers and shakers. The top dog is the one that's the least active, but has the most wins so far. All right, so that's what happened. 7-0 in that league. All right, let's just get back to our league here. Let's go backwards this time. One Accord B-Ball Jam 2. Again, this is one of the leagues that created after the first one and has been very active, with the exception of the bottom feeders here, who both lost last week. For some reason, I'm struggling in my division, though. I'm not sure why. Let's see how it went last week. Last week, I beat Space Jam. I thought I was going to lose to them, actually. So that keeps me up in the running, at least in the top 6. All right, 6th place overall. 4th in my division, 14 games behind. That's going to be a tough one to try to catch up to. So right at this point, I can only hope for being in the top 6, if not the top 5. So taking out Space Jam helps me stay in that race. And right behind me is the Bombers, who did about the same matchup. So I got to keep that pace going. Can't let this guy beat me. All right, so B-Ball Jam, that's enough for that one. Let's go to One Accord B-Ball Jam, the original. I don't know why I'm doing this guy. Okay, here it is. So, 4th place I am. How did I do last week? I lost my division rival, big, bad, bold blast, also known as Water Walker. Took over the division again. We've been going back and forth the last couple weeks, and he's proving to be a tough competitor. And I don't think he does any moves, but he's definitely making an impact in the leagues right now. So he's in third place, third ranking. Mile High is in second place. This is not a usual place for him. The Rocks Brigade has taken over, has completely destroyed all the hopes and dreams of the Mile High Baller to be undefeated. Oh, not to mention I beat them a couple weeks ago too. And to be staying number one. Rocks Brigade is a huge, huge competitor. And he's played, I'm going to show you over time here. I don't think he was in here. No, he wasn't in this leagues. He was in a league once at one point, I think. But anyways, he's been in several, a couple other leagues that I've run. And Rocks Brigade, or T-Rock, I think that's what he goes by, has always been a competitor. Major push to be the best. And has put it to Mile High Baller, forcing him to make one move, which is not normal. Mile High doesn't make too many moves. So, last year's champion, Ozzy, aka X-Men, 20 moves. So he's trying to get back up there, but he's 20 points behind in his division. Still in the top 6, still eligible to run the race with the rest of us, but who's behind him? Debo. Not too close behind him. Division rivals are pretty close, though. So that can go anywhere. So there's the results. Husky, Saints beat the Husky. These two are not really big in the league, but they're still in there playing. Mark beating Ozzy. Mile High beating Nice Cheat. And Rock beating Phil. All right, let's go to. Let's open that up for you guys. Sorry, guys. One Accord B-Ball Jam 2 or 1. I'm sorry. This is the results. All right. Here's the rankings. Rocks Brigade, division leader. Mile High Baller, division leader. Big, bad, bold, blessed, division leader. All right. So let's hit it. Let's go to One Accord B-Ball Jam. Nope, not that one. We're going to the Gospel of B-Ball. I'm going to change some names in 2020. Some of these leagues. This so it's conformed to the rest of the GCSports franchise. I'm in 4th place. I did pretty well. Let's see how I'm working. I'm playing Gilberto next week. Darrell. Took out Darrell. 6-3-2. Chalmers took out Center of Attention. Still in the bottom, though. Need some hope. See, the bottom 4 right now, they're the ones that are struggling. And they all can outdo each other and still not do too well the rest of the league. So they got to step it up to these guys here in the top 4, which I'm included in. I took Darrell down so I can move up. I think I moved up to 5 from 5 to 4. And Gilberto is closing the gap on him and stunting like a pimp. Yao trying to stay right there as well. I think Yao was actually second place until Gilberto came out. Blew out Zeppelin, right? Nope, most wanted beat Zeppelin. Yao and Stunton matched each other. It's pretty close. That was a pretty interesting game because they beat each other. They tied 5-5, and they're probably and there's only 1 point behind as Yao is, so it's not unmanageable for them to come back to stay in second place. Gilberto just had a weak opponent. Excuse me for my yawn. It's morning. So who's playing next week then? I got Gilberto. That's gonna make or break either one of us. Okay, Yao plays Chalmers. Could be a good jump for her. Stunton plays Zeppelin. So yeah. The bottom champs right here. Let's see how that works out. All right, let's hit up next league. GCBA free for all. I think I'm gonna name this the International League instead of free for all, just because. Matter of fact, maybe I could do that now. I'm gonna change it to international, starting off the new year right. Let's see. Nice. Okay, so I won 8-2 last week against Turkey. That jumped me above him actually. How about that? Took him down out of the playoff spot, right? Nope. Yep. So that jumped me up, took him out in the running for the playoff spot. We still got a couple weeks left. Space Jam and beat Butch last year, so what's going on this year? Space Jam and Butch. Butch is staying up there, but Space Jam, not so good for him. Reigning champ, not looking like he's in the running for a little bit here, and it looks like he still has a chance. I mean, Turkey's right there, and Darrell's right there. I think my defeat on Darrell keeps Space Jam and Turkey. Oh, I'm sorry, keeps me in there, me in the mix. Staying above 500, that's important, especially in these uber competitive leagues. I think my division is the most busiest, with the exception of me. I haven't really made any moves, but nevertheless, I have been setting my league. And then there's free for all. Let's go to the main GCBA West. See what's going on here. I'm playing the Creepers this week. Look who I lost to. Army Black Knights. The reigning champ. Looks like he's trying to make a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. He's in 7th place. He's right now. I'm the one that's got the bye with Lemke, and I'm in a commanding lead. Both of us lost last week, though. I'm still up there, though. I'm looking like I can take that number 1 spot still. So, but the defending champions, they're looking to come back in the race here. They're trying. You can tell. 46 moves. That's a big, significant amount of moves. Roberts got 57, so he's the only one that's matching him activity wise. I only got 4 moves, but it's because I drafted well, I think. That's what makes a difference, is your draft. You can draft well, do these live drafts. I believe that makes all the difference in the world. So, last but not least, we're going to let's go back. Let's go back to the Eastern. God Chasers Basketball Association Eastern Conference. Taking on Debo this week. All right, Bishop Roberts is in first place. So he's making it interesting. Defending champ is Yao over Bishop. So what are we going to do about that, guys? Come on. Yao is 14 games behind Bishop this time. Not as active. Dakota looks like they're the ones that are going to challenge anybody in this league, and they're doing pretty decent. But Bishop Roberts right now, solid lead of 51 moves. Dakota with 44 moves, and those are your top two for the division for the league. So this is going to be a great matchup, I think, overall. I'm going to check the schedule between Roberts and, see, they tied Yao, lost to Dakota. See, that's a really good boost for them. Dakota, I got to play him again at the end really soon. I got to play 3 times. That's just wonderful. So, as if my first 2 losses weren't bad enough. 9-0, 7-2. Got to play him 3 more time or 1 more time. All right, but so there you go, standings. Looks like I got kicked out of the top 6. I might lose my ranking, but I gotta come back. I got Roberts right there, or I'm sorry, the Bombers are right there behind me, and the Nuggets. I don't know who they beat. Who they beat? Nuggets beat Ozzy to jump over me. Interesting. So I gotta come up with some moves here that's gonna change the game for me. There you go. That's the full rankings of what's been going on last week, and we got, like I said, so much going on this coming weekends coming up. Of course, we got the NFL playoffs, and if anybody watched the NFL playoffs, crazy weekend, isn't it? I mean, first of all, the Ravens losing the way they lost to Tennessee was outstanding. I mean, I really didn't think Lamar Jackson was going to be shut down the way he was. The Titans defense stepped it up big time. And this is the second road trip for Tennessee in the playoffs as a wild card. They're the 6th seed in their AFC. Now they're going to Kansas City. Kansas City, another wild game. I would to say that the AFC games were a lot more exciting than the NFC games. Nevertheless, it was fun to watch the NFC. San Francisco and Green Bay victorious. It's going to be a great NFC championship. I think one of the best we've seen over the last 5 years, in my opinion. AFC, on the other hand, I definitely was looking forward to Ravens, Kansas City. I'm very happy that New England was out of it early. I thank you, Tennessee, for knocking them out. Not happy that Houston took Buffalo out, of course. But I'm glad they were outdone yesterday by Kansas City. Just because. And to think, we can always talk about what ifs and all that stuff. But it would have been great to have the Bills at home with somebody like the Chiefs coming to our field. That would have been great. So maybe next year. I mean, listen, I'm telling you what, this is not the same Buffalo Bills team, Buffalo Bills organization, coaching staff that we've had for the past 20 years. For the past 3 years, it's been a very different team. I could say for the Sabres the same thing. Very different team. But we're that close. We're that close. We're that close, guys. This close. We're that close to getting there. So Buffalo has yet to show out in playoff fashion in any sport, but we're that close. We're that close. We're going to do it. We're going to do this, man. I'm excited about it. So once again, NHL All-Stars coming up January 24th, 25th. That's in not this coming weekend, but next weekend. This coming weekend, we got the NFC and the AFC championship games. It's Green Bay at San Francisco and Tennessee at Kansas City. Really, I think Kansas City's got this. I'm not going to even assume. Kansas City's got it in the bag. But I do believe Derrick Henry is going to come out in the same old ground and pound fashion, make some history, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Derrick Henry has become my second all-time favorite running back in the history of the NFL, second only to Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson, to me, is just outstanding. Was just phenomenal to watch. I mean, I can round off my top 100 in every, of the NFL, in my opinion, too. Maybe I will. Maybe I will before the Super Bowl is over. I'll do my own little decision-making pick. Of course, I never watched Otto Graham, so I can't really pick people from those eras, but I'll pick the era that I know from the late 70s till current. And once again, NFL Pro Bowl is the 25th of January, 26th, the day after the All-Star games of NHL down in Orlando. The Super Bowl is February 2nd, and that's going to be in Miami. So not just down I-95 a bit from Orlando. All-Star games of the NBA will be in Chicago. That's going to be an exciting weekend as well. And that's for it. And then our leagues continue. 22 or 23. I think it's a 22 or a 23 league games we have for basketball. We're in week 12 right now. I'm sorry, week 13 in basketball, week 15 in hockey. That's my standings. This is where I'm at. I'm not doing too bad. With the exception of the East, I'm not doing too bad. The exception of the two leagues that I don't run. Not doing too bad. But overall, it's been an exciting football playoff. Not just fantasy sports wise, but in real life. I won 2 football playoffs, so I'm happy about that. But the God Chasers football, God Chasers hockey, God Chasers basketball is starting to ramp up. This last couple of seasons, we've got real active players, real active coaches. It's really competitive. And I'm really happy that we're maintaining that integrity. Coming up in a few months, if not a few weeks, I think it's right after the Super Bowl, fantasy baseball signups come up. Sometimes it's right before that. Usually it could be right before Daytona, the Daytona 500. But spring training will be coming up already, and baseball is going to sign up. So be prepared. If you guys want to be involved in fantasy baseball this season, I mean, we're not limiting how many leagues and how many teams that can compete. I'm going to be sifting through some of these players that have not been active over the years, and I'm going to put them to the wayside. And I'm going to invite new people who are active and people who want to compete, people who enjoy competing in a family-friendly Christian league environment. If you're interested in being a part of that, you can join the group. I'll give you the group real quick. The group page is right there. Facebook.com/groups/GCSports. And that groups are where we're going to be more active, I think. Let me see if I find here. and communicating with everybody on which leagues they want to be involved in, what type of league that they want to be involved in. The way the football leagues usually work is that for at least 5 years, if you never played with our football teams before, we usually start you out in the rookie league, God Chaser Sports. Um, then we move you up to the veterans, and then move you up to the what I call the Chaser Bowl, but it's just the official God Chasers Football League. We do have some teams that will spill in to the two Christian leagues we have, football leagues, and then we have what I call Fudge Bowl, which is an official, unofficial league that is about friends and competitors and maybe the Christian hip hop world and so on, or former God Chasers football competitors. I have Fudge Bowl, I have Fudge Ball, which is baseball, and I don't think I've had basketball or hockey with an official Fudge name for a championship. But as I stated, I might be changing some names around next year for both basketball and hockey to try to make it conformed or aligned version of all the different types of leagues I have for basketball, football, baseball, hockey, and make it progressive type of system like I've had in football, where you enter into like a rookie status, then a veteran, then a professional kind of thing. Also, next year, I'm gonna do the God Chasers football, college football league, because I tested it out this year and I love it. I love the college football draft and head to head competition. It's more interesting because you have two bye weeks for each team. That makes it very interesting, especially if you got, like I had, two Heisman Trophy type quarterbacks that had the same bye week. It was tough. I had a couple losses because of it. But man, I tell you what, it was fun. So we're going to do that next year. God Chasers college football. You can bet on that. It's going to happen. Mark your calendars for it. We're going to get more involved in the college sports part of it too. So anyways, for anybody else that's been watching, I thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out the recap. Happy New Year for the ones that I didn't say that, because I don't think I was live. It's been live November or December 29th is last time I went live. And you know, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the future, what we're doing. I'm excited about the progress we've made, and what the Lord is doing with what we're doing in these groups. So join the group. I want you guys to be involved. I want you to play. We got more leagues coming. We're going to keep playing this. We're going to keep doing this broadcast every week as much as possible. Recap all the playoffs of all the sports and upcoming events. Daytona 500's around the corner. PGA is coming up again. You name it. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon. This is 20 years we've been doing this now. This is our 20th anniversary. Wow. So the year 2000 was the first year. We just completed our 20th year doing fantasy sports as God Chasers. Amazing. So congratulations. We are entering this last era, this new we're entering the new decade, but this is it, guys. Stay tuned. I want you guys to interact more. I want you guys to get involved in the conversations, get in your cell phones, get on social media, post some stuff that you want to post for the group, and broadcast it, and we'll put it on the broadcast. I can broadcast it right here from the group page, from your page, what have you. So stay interactive, man. This is going to be a fun broadcast once we get more people involved. We'll have our own little chats, our own little conversations. We can do Bible type stuff. We don't have to necessarily just do sports. So just keep in contact, keep in touch, man. Love you guys. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Just keep spreading the word that Jesus Christ is Lord, and let's invite some people. Peace out.